Hi there, and welcome to a tutorial on getting creative with Keynote. My name is Mr. Peterson, and today's lesson is going to focus on being able to create a scene using the Keynote app, the built-in shapes that come with it, and changing the color and possibly the size and rotation and things like that to edit out a really cool scene. So I hope you enjoy today's lesson, and let's get creating. To get started on today's challenge of creating a scene using Keynote and the shapes that are found right in the Keynote app, we are going to have to launch Keynote. This app right here with the white podium and the blue background is your Keynote app. And when you launch it, you will see that you have an option to create a presentation, and I'm going to tap there. And I will choose a theme from the options. From here, all I want to do is create a basic blank white canvas for me to work on. And when I click on that, or tap on that, it's going to give me my basic theme of white basic presentation. And what I want to do is tap anywhere on my scene here. And my options here are select all, paste, comment, or edit master slide. And what I want to do is hit select all, and you'll see delete as an option. And what that does is allows me to select everything and delete it to give myself a plain blank white space to create on. So this is going to give us a good place to build our scene. So to get started, I want to change up my background on my scene. And in order to do that, I'm going to hit the paintbrush tool. And you'll see you have an option for background. When I click background, I can choose color. And what I'm going to do is just choose a nice blue for a sky color. And you'll see now I have a plain old blue background for my slide instead of the white, the one that we originally started with. So now I want to start adding in shapes to create a scene that I want to use. So if I hit the plus button, you'll see here under the shape icon that there are just a ton of shapes from basic to geometry to even things found in nature that you can play around with and use and add to your scenes here. So this is a great tool to be able to add in something that you don't have to go out and find something extra. You don't have to go out and look and search and see something from anywhere else in the web or in nature, and you can just add it here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a basic shape of a circle. And you'll notice that it's blue. This won't really be something that I'm going to want to, or black, I should say. I'm not going to keep it black, but what I want to do is just kind of make it the size and kind of shape that I want to start and get it on my screen, something like this. So here's my starting shape that I want to use. I have it selected, and in order to change the color from black, I'm going to hit the paintbrush tool and make sure that I have style selected. And under style, I can change my fill color. So I'm going to choose the color options here, and I want to get it to be like a sand color. That looks perfect to me. So this is going to be my desert island out in the ocean somewhere. Okay, so to get started changing and creating the rest of my scene, again, I'm going to go to the plus tool here up top, and I want to go to nature, and I'm going to choose the palm tree, which again is black. I'm going to resize this really quick, get it kind of situated on my island, and then I've got to hit the paintbrush tool as it's selected to change the color. I'm going to choose fill. I am going to this time select gradient instead of color. And for my start color, I'm going to tap on there and I'm going to choose green. I'm going to hit back here and then I'm going to go to end color and I'm going to choose brown. And you'll see what gradient does is it changes it from the green gradually to brown from top to bottom, start to finish. And that gives me this kind of look of tree bark and green top that I want to go with here. So what I want to do now is take this and I want to like duplicate it and have more than one palm tree on my island. So I'm going to tap on it. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to tap anywhere else on my screen off that object and I'm going to hit paste. And here's my other tree. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and move it around. You'll notice that it's in front of my other tree and I want to put it behind that tree. So I'm going to do two things actually. I'm going to hit the paintbrush tool and under the arrange tab, I want to do two things. I want to have it going the other direction. So I'm going to flip horizontally. You see how that changed the direction the tree is going. And I'm going to move this back one so that way it is now behind this other tree. If I select that tree, I can even grab it and I can make it move a little bit by taking two fingers and adjusting the direction that it's going in. So it looks like it's kind of leaning a little bit more, and there we go. I'm going to take that tree, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to tap anywhere else on the screen and hit tap and then paste. And now all I'm going to do, again, is hit the paintbrush tool, flip it horizontally so it's back to the original, drag it behind my other tree. Oh, sorry. And I'm going to move it here and then bend it a little bit or angle it. And now I have my three trees on my island that are kind of bunched up and grouped. So I made one tree and then I just edited it out each time. So this would be a great time for you to pause this video and play around with adding a few shapes, changing some of the colors, use gradient, use the color fill, and then try that out, and then we'll get back into the next step of adding a shape to break apart and change the colors of that. So hit pause, and we'll see you in a minute. So the next thing that I'm going to add to my scene by hitting the plus is I'm going to go here and type in the little search button. I'm going to type sun, and I found a sunshine that I want. I'm going to hit the sun, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And then what I want to do, because I don't want a black sun and I want to be a little more creative, I'm going to hit the pencil or the paintbrush tool, and under arrange, there's a break apart option. When I tap that, notice how all these shapes are now independent shapes. If I select the middle one, it's just the circle that I have. I'm going to hit the paintbrush tool, and again, using style, fill, I'm going to hit gradient, and I'm going to change this to like a yellow, and my end color is going to be orange. You'll notice a very subtle gradient change on that. I like the look. So I'm going to now start tapping these little triangles, and I'm going to change the color of those to just solid colors, playing around with maybe some sort of an every other triangle, choosing yellow, and then maybe choosing that same orange I used in my gradient. So that way these are changed up for every other color. One's orange, one is yellow, and that gives me my kind of gradient shape complemented by the original colors that I chose in the gradient itself. So I'm going to do this really quickly. I have one more shape to do. You'll see that I'm literally tapping on it, hitting the paintbrush, hitting color, and then tapping the color I want, and now I have it. So what I'm going to do really quick is two finger pinch to zoom in a little bit. And what I want to do is hold down on the circle and then start tapping all of the triangles with my other finger to select everything there. And then I'm going to hit group. This lets me turn this back into one solid image so I can move it around and put it where I want on my screen and not have to worry about it being broken apart at all. So I might even move this a little bit, rotate it so it's not perfectly centered, and I could drag it a little bit off my screen, whatever I want to do. There's my sun. Tap pause right now and play around with adding in an image, breaking it apart, and editing the colors out, and then regrouping. This may be a little bit trickier, so take your time and try it out. So I'll see you in a minute. All right, let's finish up our scene. So the last few things I'm going to add here is I'm going to hit the plus, and I see I have this surfboard and a chair. So I'm going to grab a surfboard, I'm going to move it over. I'm going to go ahead and hit my plus again and add my chair and kind of play with these a little bit on my island. There's my chair. I'm going to edit the color and make it, let's see, I'm going to have a red chair. There's my little red beach chair. I'm going to get my surfboard. Oh, I keep moving it around, sorry. I'm going to angle it like I stuck it in the sand. And now, you know what I'm going to do is take this and I am going to break it apart. I'm going to make one side of it a color like purple, and the other side will be Let's see, we'll do blue, maybe a dark blue, light blue. There we go. That seems pretty tropical. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to grab my two and group them. And now I have a surfboard and a chair in my scene. I've got my desert island with all of my other stuff in here. I could add clouds. I could add all kinds of things. Remember your buttons. You can have the objects, once it's selected and you hit the paintbrush, you have a range to be able to flip things horizontally or vertically if need be. You can take images that you want to break apart, and under the Arrange tab, you can ungroup them, break them apart. Once you break them apart originally, you can't break them apart again, so really be aware of that. You may have to delete it and then re-add it and try that again if you have something you want to edit later on, but you have all of these really cool, fun, interesting options to play around with on your shape, whether that is style, color, or anything else you may have done. So think city, think desert, think woods, think all kinds of cool things, and make something awesome. Looking forward to seeing your creativity. And good luck using Keynote and the built-in shapes to create something really cool.